One of the fabulous aspects of ArcGIS is that there are thousands and thousands of pre-made layers of maps to choose from that you can use in your classroom. And they're all found under this Add button. If you click Add and search for layers, you can find layers either found in your own content that you've made, under the Living Atlas, ArcGIS Online, or within our DSBN organization. Typically, students will be searching for data in ArcGIS Online. Now, one common mistake students and teachers will forget is when they go searching for things, they forget to switch this from My Content to ArcGIS Online. And so it's a good idea to remind the students to switch that. So let's find the provinces and capitals of Canada. Provinces and territories of Canada. Make sure that the students don't make a spelling mistake when they type in their search, because otherwise it won't come up. And once they've typed in their search criteria, they have to hit the enter key, otherwise it won't actually search for them. So let's add the first one here to our map. Let's find another layer that's quite useful, and this one is going to be the landform regions of Canada. Now, interesting enough, when I search for the landform regions of Canada's physiographic regions comes up, and it's actually what I'm searching for. But for some bizarre reason, when I search for Canada's physiographic regions, it's hard to find. The other thing we want to be careful of when we're searching for data is that it's coming from a good quality source. So Esri Canada Education is a really good quality source. And we also know that the resource is going to be there for future classes. Whereas this person down here, we have no idea who they are, and they might remove their content in a week or more. And as a result, you really don't want to use layers that you can't really trust the source. So like Agriculture Canada or the USGS, they're all good, reliable sources that are more than likely going to keep their layers up for a long time. So we'll add that one, and we'll add one more, National Parks of Canada. Oops. Now, the thing about the National Parks of Canada one, you'll notice that it's not coming up. There's a bunch of them that come up at the top here, but they're not ones that I can trust. And so I have to do a little bit of searching here. So I'm going to go down, and here we are, Esri Canada, National Parks of Canada. So try adding those to your map. And what we're going to do is now manipulate some of those layers. So to begin with, when we click on Details mode and then click Content, we can see all of the layers here. And we can turn on and off pre-existing layers by simply checking or unchecking the boxes that they're found in. So if I wanted to see the physiographic regions with the national parks on top of it, I turn on those two layers. But perhaps I no longer need the physiographic regions and I want the provinces and territories. I can turn that one on. You have to be careful with your layering. You'll notice that national parks is on the top, and you can see that the national parks are clearly drawn on top of each of the other layers. But if I were to drag this layer down below, for instance, the physiographic regions, and if I turn on the physiographic regions now, you'll see that the national parks disappear. So students will have this problem on occasion in that they haven't layered their layers of the map properly, and they're burying things. I like to liken it to a cake, that you want to put the icing and sprinkles on the top, and the interior part of the cake is sort of the base. And we need to have the base, in this case, the physiographic regions, on the bottom, and we want the sprinkles, which are the national parks, on the top. Now, sometimes you might have the need to duplicate a region. or a layer. So for instance, let's say I want to have 2 copies of the physiographic regions. So I'm going to click on the 3 little dots on the end here, and I want to go copy. You'll notice that it's made a second copy of it, so if I turn this one off, I can see that I've got my second copy of it. And I can rename this. For instance, and as landform regions. So perhaps, I find that that's a more useful name for the layer, or maybe I'm going to end up filtering it later on, which is, for instance, maybe I'm just going to show the interior planes for this layer, and therefore I want to call this the interior planes. However, I still want to have my physiographic region still available. Now, sometimes you might have the need to delete a layer. Perhaps you've gone and selected a layer and realized that, oh, this is not quite what I was looking for. If you want to delete a layer, you can simply click on the 3 little dots and click on remove, and that will take that layer away. One of the great features of ArcGIS is its auto labeling feature. So if you click on the 3 little dots here and go to create labels, it's automatically going to label all of Canada's landform regions, although you'll notice the Inuit Mountains are missing, but it has all of the landform regions labeled for us. So try finding the National Parks of Canada, Canada's physiographic regions, Canada's provinces and territories, add it to your map, try changing the order of it, and try turning on and off layers, renaming the layers, and copying the layers.